Candle, candle burning bright, shining in the cold winter night. Candle, candle burning bright, fill our hearts with Christmas light. Dallas, welcome. Today is the first day of Advent on our 2PK podcast. And Advent, as we know, is a church celebration 4 weeks before Christmas. And it's something we did in our church. On the first day, we lit the candles. So this is the 2PK podcast, Two Pastors Kids, coming at you from Riga. And I'm Jeff with
I
the
am
Advent
Dallas.
candle song instead of the theme music. So yeah, sorry, Dallas.
No, sorry. I didn't know you were going to say that. I'm Dallas, uh, coming at you,
Dallas
coming at you live in 2025. Uh,
from where are we
I feel
from,
like
Dallas?
we should sell shirts. Um, we should have some merch. I'm not going to say what it is because if I say what it is, it'll be out there, and then somebody else could do it. So
Well,
maybe I'll just come. I didn't have time to make my shirt this morning.
yeah,
Because usually I like to make my own shirts
you do make your own shirts.
when it comes to
You have a
graphics and things.
jacket that says what was the jacket with the cool thing it said on it?
There's one that has NSFW, and then another
Mm.
one that has Saprotu. Oh, Meta, full Meta.
Meta. Yeah,
So
full
yeah,
meta
the,
jacket.
the
Yeah, that was
full
really
Meta
clever.
jacket. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you make these, you have these ideas. You have a gift.
Well,
I don't know.
I
I don't know
wouldn't.
what that gift is worth to the world, but you have one. So
Those aren't necessarily my best ones. Sometimes, like like there's certain things that I like to roll out more for the masses, and then others that are just sort of what I like to think of as shamanic jokes.
shamanic jokes.
Yeah, shamanic jokes when shamans would do things where they come up with all of the different stories and philosophies. And
Hmm.
then while they're in these trances and while others are taking others on, trances and try to basically, it's like a mental exercise of the absurdities that you can get into with certain spiritual battles and certain concepts when you're thinking about it from like an ayahuasca kind of
So you're the shaman in this case. You're like outside of the experience, seeing what we're all doing, the absurdity of life, and coming up with these creative, uh, comic comic things that nobody could possibly understand because we are down here and you're on this higher plane. Is that what you're saying?
well, not exactly.
Like your comedy will be understood once we're all on a higher plane of in this aura.
No, no, not exactly. I guess what that would that I think maybe when I was younger I was doing that, but then that would get me in trouble
Well, you said
because
ayahuasca, so I didn't know where you're going
well,
with
yeah, but what you were describing was maybe me in my younger years where I've conjured something up in my head that nobody realizes, and then I
yeah.
go and try to do it, and it's a giant
Uh,
joke and it'll get you in trouble. What I'm referring to is more of a shamanic joke that I play on myself,
oh, on yourself.
oftentimes of where something where, and man, it might just be my own personality coming through as a preacher's kid, but not necessarily that it would have to be specific to every preacher's kid. But I would always kind of find myself in a situation where, because you're born in that spotlight and under that microscope, you're always there, and you have to find ways of getting yourself away from that. Maybe
Yeah.
getting yourself to where you don't make the news, and you don't get into the situation where it's like you're broadcasting to the masses and the millions because, it's
But
there's
what does that have to do with your shamanic humor, though? What's an example of shamanic humor? Where's
mm,
that?
well, I don't now I've forgotten the original shamanic
All
humor
right, we'll come back to it.
reference.
Two
We'd
questions
have to
though. I
let's
got two
rewind.
points.
We'll rewind.
No, no, one question. Have you ever been to a real shaman?
No.
Gone on a shamanic? Okay, so I did that once. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But then before I get to the shamanic thing, I want to point out just a subtle difference here, right? So when you say PK, you say preacher's kid. When I
Mm-hmm.
say P kid, I say pastor's kid. And so it seems to me, even
Mm.
though our fathers were both preachers, pastors, is there a difference, do you think, between the preacher and the pastor?
Um, you're not going to have it as an official title of preacher. Preacher is a little more of the trade of preaching,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're,
We could be preachers, right?
yeah, but it's like you're a
Yeah.
carpenter, but when it goes down to like when it's on paper, you're a builder or something. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, but really, it's like, or like a handyman. So it's like you're doing everything from electrical, plumbing, and tile and
But in the linguistic
board.
vein, do you think it's a Southern thing? Like in the South, they say preacher more, and then in the Midwest, where I'm from, they say pastor
Oh
more. Or,
yeah, maybe. I mean, in a lot of places, it would be father.
well, father,
And
but that's
padre.
Catholic. That's Catholic.
Yeah, but I'm saying that would be the only that would like where it's more Lutheran, where for you have Catholic or Protestant. You don't
Yeah,
always have Protestant. You like, what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like in a lot of cultures, you only have the Catholic.
But it's interesting when I came to Latvia, they call all the preachers and pastors, they call them priests, which
Hmm.
is for me, priest is very specific Catholic, and the whole biggest difference, obviously, is there's no such thing as a priest kid.
Hmm.
Well, not legally, or we
Yeah,
don't want to go
no,
there,
yeah.
but
I'm
but
sure
yeah.
they're
So
out
the
there. They're
so when they say priest, I'm thinking this is person who can just works at the church but doesn't get married, doesn't have kids. My dad was not a priest; he was a pastor. He had a family and could have kids and all that. So that was
Hmm.
a fundamental difference for me between priest and pastor and father. And
Right.
father's the Catholic, padre. That's all because they can't be a real father. That they
Hmm.
get this
Hmm.
title of father, whatever father of their
Yeah. Yeah,
tribe.
that's a lot of the stuff that we would kind of talk about and the distinguishing of, like what separates us from other churches and like why are
Mm-hmm.
there these other churches and who's on the right path, you know.
Yeah, which is
Um,
crazy to me.
it
Crazy.
is. Well, but it is, and as a child, I remember very distinctly um, hearing about these other churches, being in these massive cathedrals, like these southern cathedrals that were made of wood, and then these wooden arches.
Catholic or
No, no, like Pentecostal.
oh,
Um,
Pentecostal cathedrals.
hmm.
So let me ask you this: when you grew up in Griffin, can I say that? We said that before, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And how big? It's like 10,000 or something.
When I was growing up, it was like 30,000, and
Oh,
then
pretty
and
big, pretty big. Cause
yeah,
see,
now it's probably like 50 to 80.
yeah, so that's too big for what I'm saying. So in Nebraska, like where I'm from, there were these little tiny towns, like 500 people, 600 people, 300 people, like tiny towns, these railroad towns, basically all across the state. Every 10 miles, there was a town. And each town had usually two churches. And
Hmm.
that was it. It was like Methodist, Lutheran, Catholic, what's the other one? Baptist or something like that. And you'd have these two churches, and then half the town belonged to one church, half the town belonged to the other church. And I imagine it's completely different when you grow up in a bigger place, that you have like many different varieties, and you don't even know necessarily. I don't know how this was for you, but like you knew who the Lutheran kids were. Catholic kids were, because it's a small town and you just, oh yeah, they go to that church and we go to this
Your
church.
your
And I
audio
was wondering if
your
that
audio
was
is doing
anything.
your audio is doing some weird stuff.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
sorry.
you have some disco lighting going on,
Yeah,
which I'm
I
totally
probably
okay.
lost
I'm
that
totally
whole.
okay with the lighting, but the audio will run somebody out of the
Okay,
theater.
so real quick
And
summary.
we do
In
not
your
want
town,
these. We can't
could
let
you
the
tell
audience
who the,
go run out of the theater, Jeff.
yeah, sorry. My thing unplugged. I don't know. I hit the thing and then everything unplugged. I don't know. I can't hit the table. I can't be like a preacher and pound the pulpit. So no, I
Okay,
said so
but don't knock that
um
over.
so my big question was, in your town where there's all these people, could you tell who were the kids who went to your church, that church, this church, and was there a separation, division?
Um,
like a almost a not ostracization, but segregation, where
Hmm.
Catholic kids play here, the Baptist kids play here, the
Yeah.
Pentecostals are here.
Yeah. So I started out with a small Baptist church that I assume would have been Southern Baptist, um, that was like Fellowship Baptist Church,
Like
real, and
Fellowship of the Rings.
yeah, but like just I mean, when it comes to Christian churches and things like that, Fellowship Baptist Church is about as generic as you can get.
Hmm.
But it was where I first remember being in a place where they lined up, six or seven kids and had us singing some songs that they had taught us. Um, and then it seemed like there was a split in things,
A
things,
schism.
yes, well, little schisms and things were changing, and something happened. I guess when I was around 4 or 5, which would have been around 1985, um,
Hmm.
and um, people went in different directions, and we went towards the Pentecostal um, Holiness Church.
Which is
And
a little more extreme than Baptist, yeah.
yeah, and then there's different versions of that. There's private churches, there's little
Now, how do you
country churches
navigate
that
that?
got
I
formed.
mean, it's just like,
It's totally free form.
yeah,
That's where you get everything that you get.
yeah.
And then
Okay, so I want to ask
you'll have
before I
groups of
forget. So
homeschoolers that are
the
this
reason I brought this
together,
topic
but they're
up,
not
Dallas,
together.
reason I brought this topic up in the first place was because I went to a Lutheran church and we lit the Advent candles, but you said you didn't. You didn't have this tradition,
Right,
right?
right.
So it was
No.
Christmas like. What was this time like in your church?
Um, so yeah, the Advent calendar to me is a brand new concept as far as it goes that I've only known since my wife um, and her Catholic family, and the idea of where they would sell them in at Baltic Imports. Check out Baltic Imports on Facebook. Uh,
A little plug, huh?
it's a very important one. But so they would sell these all of these various things from different countries for the immigrants there a lot of times, so that the immigrants would have gifts for their families at Christmas time
Mm.
and the various holidays. So the Advent calendar was new that I saw there, where each little thing you would open up and there would be
Hmm.
something there. Um, our church would have a Christmas play. And so there would be, and like then there would be like a big choir. So the choir director would be working and like putting
Did,
together a program.
did you ever get to play Joseph? Or were you a shepherd?
No, I was a wise man
Oh, you
once.
got to be what? I think
Got
I
to be
got
a
to be a
wise
wise
man.
man once.
I was the drummer boy, the little drummer boy.
Wow,
That was
you got to be the little drummer
yeah,
boy
that was my
because
favorite.
your
It
dad
was
was a pastor. So they
well, this
is it
one
like when your dad's the coach and you got to be the pitcher?
not
Really?
necessarily. This one was more like
Little Dallas drummer boy.
this was
That's
more like
hilarious.
when they're picking teams and only
Yeah,
two
yeah.
scrubs are left at the end and they're
But the
like
drummer boy
and
can't
it's
be a
and it was a boy and
scrub.
a girl. They're
Yeah,
like, okay, the boy has to
yeah.
be the drummer boy. But this was actually more too in like an empty it was more in an empty cafeteria, like a cinder block
Yeah,
cafeteria
yeah.
for only for the kids during this
Oh,
for this one. So it was just it was like a food like for us by us kind of situation for
so you did so your Christmas
for
your
you kids.
yeah. So your Christmas plays were a little more secular, it sounds like. Drummer
Um,
boy and
well,
the
everything about the church at that point was secular, because there was a more stronger effort to um, disconnect from anything that was racist, anything that was considered racist,
mm-hmm.
anything that was going to be mixing church and state. There was a very
Hmm.
strong emphasis on
Separation. Yeah.
the separation of church and state, and this
Hmm.
was to maintain tax status, I would
Uh-huh.
imagine, to a certain extent, because um, I came along in the 80s and the 90s. I would imagine in the 60s and 70s there would have been some shakeups that would have shown me a different culture altogether where I may have had one racist uncle that was around, but he was not even allowed at the church. Like nothing
Mm.
like that was like it was very
Wow.
specifically
But
that
did you have
this
any black
cannot
people
be
at the
here.
church?
Anything that it remotely resembles this cannot
But did
be
you have any black
anywhere
people
around.
at the church?
We did not have black people.
Okay.
And so it
So they
was
were
segregated.
trying,
It was
oh
segregated.
yeah,
Mhm.
segregate, but trying not to be overtly racist or racial in any way.
Quite the contrary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
quite the contrary in my
Interesting.
church. Like
Yeah.
in our church. And so there's a lot of that angst and a lot of that stuff that has come up in the last 10, 15 years that's just really bad communication skills,
Hmm.
for a new generation,
Yeah.
where there's an
So
older generation and like an in-between generation that never got the chance to say, like we know what unity in community, like Queen Latifah was talking about, like, like we were all listening, we were all
yeah.
together in the 90s.
And then something happened. Okay, so
Yeah.
speaking of or racist uncles, uh, what did you do for Thanksgiving? Because we don't have
Oh.
Thanksgiving here in Latvia. So how did you deal with that?
Well, let me see if I can at least share one photo correctly. Um, dun, 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 dun. This is what I did. Uh,
Oh, hold on, I got one of those too. I was going to
oh,
share mine. Who made
oh.
that? Did you make
Uh,
that?
I believe cousin Kristaps made this. Um,
A man, a Latvian man made
oh
that?
well, now I'd probably be remiss to, I'd probably be absolutely incorrect, and it would probably be his lovely new girlfriend slash partner. Um,
Uh,
I'm not 100% sure on her name. Um,
okay, let me share mine. Very similar.
I was very I'll put her name in the editing. Oh,
Well, you don't have to.
I almost
Oh, you just
declined.
don't want to.
Almost declined your permission.
I know. I was like, what? Why are you doing that to me? Okay, so this is my so
Mm,
so my person was gone for Thanksgiving. I didn't have anywhere
oh
to go,
yeah,
anything to
yeah.
gosh, am I sharing the pie?
Well, I see it. Yeah, I
Okay,
think
because I
you
got
are.
other windows open, so I'm trying to share the pie.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
yeah.
Okay,
This is ladies,
so
ladies. This is the difference right here between your productions and our productions when it
whoa,
comes to
whoa, whoa.
pies.
What are you saying about that? Like, just because it doesn't have the stripe, the lattice? I think it's great. Anyway, so this is the first pie I've made. I can't remember the
I'm
last time I
sure
tried to
it's
make a pie.
sure it's
What?
wonderful.
And so my lady was coming back from Kazakhstan Saturday for a work trip, and I started like I made a pie, I made the turkey, I made the potatoes, made the gravy, did the whole thing, and then we had this nice meal together. But what I did with the pie, the reason it looks kind of funky, so I was proud of myself. I know nobody cares about this, but people who cook, maybe I don't even know if they care about this. But I made this pie, the pie crust from scratch, made this big pie crust. And then I was like, how am I going to get the pie crust into the thing without falling apart or breaking? Because it's really, really delicate.
Yeah,
Like I tried to make this really nice pastry,
yeah.
puffy one. And so
It
what I
ain't no
did is I
joke.
took the
It ain't no joke.
what
It ain't
what
no joke. Like that
it ain't
stuff
no
is,
joke.
yeah.
So I put the pie plate on top of the crust and then flipped it all over. So now the pie crust is in there and there's all the stuff on the side. Now normally you cut the stuff off the side, re-roll it, and then do the top part, the lattice or whatever. But I thought I'm just gonna fold that all over
Hmm,
and
hmm.
turn it into like this puffy.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of fake the crust, but it like held it all together really nicely.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, first try in a long time. I was pretty happy
Yeah. Yeah.
with
That's
the pie result. It's
brilliant.
not as beautiful as Chris Stupp's partner's person, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She.
But yeah,
I,
so what else?
I,
So where did you do that
that
at?
was
Where did you
we're
have
definitely
your
gonna have to give the blue ribbon to her.
where did you have oh God, she gets the blue ribbon. Where did you
Yeah,
have your Thanksgiving? Where was it?
um, it was somewhere in Riga, over
A
actually
home or a public place?
in your neck of the woods, like
Mm,
in between you and Laura. Um,
okay.
mhm. Our friend Laura, who we may bring on as a guest. In fact, we have some very exciting news.
Oh,
Um, a
it's
friend of
news time.
ours, a friend of ours by the name of Chrissy from Australia has agreed to go to the Riga Shooting Club or
Yeah,
is it shooting club or shooting something
yeah.
um, like I
Guns.
shooting place, shooting range,
Hmm. With
maybe. I don't.
guns.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we could call it. We'll call it 2PK Gun Club, and
Okay, and we're gonna do a live show from the gun range. Is that your idea?
we will if they allow it. We're gonna try to talk to them. I wanted to talk to Chrissy first, just to bring in some feminine energy into this. I asked my wife Mara, but she declined. Um,
Oh,
she she politely declined on the thing. But I think the second round of this, not yeah, pardon the pun, to would be book club goes to gun club because there's not a title of that yet on YouTube that I see in a
so book
search.
club goes to gun club would be an original. Why did we spoil it? You just put it out there. Now somebody's
I'll
gonna
put
see this. Some book club in Wichita, Kansas is gonna
nah
watch our podcast and they're
nah
gonna
they're
say,
not.
"I had a great idea. Let's go to the gun club together." And then they,
I'm quicker on the draw.
we'll
You
see,
know,
we'll
like
see. Again,
With a name like Dallas Taylor, you know I'm quicker on the draw.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You've got that. All right. So Thanksgiving. So yeah, this is so did you have a good time? Did you get the feel, the Thanksgiving feels, the vibe?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
The
I'm not
Latvians
sure.
get it.
It may be an annual thing because it was also a birthday. So I'm not sure if we'll do it that way again next year or, into the
Oh, because it
future.
just happened to be on the birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But if not, we're gonna do it at our place. But we'll have a whole round of celebrations next year when the house gets built.
You think it's
They
going to be
poured
ready to go by next Thanksgiving?
Jeff Jeffrey
Dallas.
Jeffrey
Dallas.
Bartholomew Greenwald's.
No, it's not Bartholomew, but that's fine.
We have footage of the concrete pouring of the ring around the top of the.
Are you ready to share it or
I'm 100% ready to
all right, go for it. Let's see. Live from
Oh no, I mean
somewhere in
I'm saying I can add it in, but
oh,
if you'll give me 2 seconds or so, I will be 100%.
well, that's what I'm saying. I'll just talk here as you pull it up then. Okay, so we know
Get
Dallas
right.
is building a new house over there, Pardalgava somewhere in the mysterious neighborhood somewhere, and he's got this house. And last time we saw there were some concrete blocks and some the outhouse was still intact, and so he was showing us all this, and he's impressed at the speed, the rate that the workers are working, and I'm impressed because it's 0 degrees out, and I just don't know how they do the work in this cold.
Well, they put
Although we don't have any
additives.
snow, so yeah,
There are additives in the concrete that allow it to cure up
there's that
to
word
like
again.
I want to say -10
Hmm.
Celsius. So
Celsius.
quite cold, so that's
Hmm.
below that'd probably get to be around zero at least
Hmm.
Fahrenheit. Um,
That's pretty cool.
gonna show we're just gonna go to the big one. I've got a longer video, so we'll just go to that one.
So in Omaha, Nebraska, right now, where I'm from, it's -10 degrees. And
Uh-huh.
here in Riga, it's 2 degrees. So it's always funny how it's like you think we're up here in the north and it's going to be so cold and like this Arctic temperatures. It's like I look at the temperature for now until the middle of December, 0, two, one. It never gets like freezing, stays freezing for very long. So
Hmm.
it's a completely different world. Wow, Dallas, it looks like a house.
Man, these guys. Another thing
There's
that
five
maybe
of them.
we may have t time to talk about is that my trip to Berlin.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we'll get to it. Is this your security footage?
this is well, yeah, I mean, you could call it secure.
Kokuvarde
This is my
Vienna.
own private remodeling show that I get.
Yeah, but it's
This is an audience of one.
yeah. I
Yeah,
love this. This
yeah,
this angle is great.
yeah. I put it up in
So
a tree.
can you play a video or just still shot?
No, this is video.
Oh,
Um,
it's cool. So this is on YouTube already.
yeah. Well, that's the only way I could really load it and share it properly.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Look at that guy just climbing over.
yeah, man.
I can't
And
move my
so
legs like that.
and so your boy is over here. Like I went to Berlin for like 4 days. I
Uh-huh.
come back, I'm hanging
Yeah.
out, I'm watching what's going on. All of a sudden there's a like I wake up late, I teach a class.
Yeah.
There's a concrete truck running out.
Brr, 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 brr. Yeah.
And when I say a concrete truck, man, I'm talking about this crazy arm that comes up
Yeah. Yeah.
where the pump is built into the truck, and this
Yeah.
arm stretches over this tree that's back here. Hold on.
All right, show us. Show
Why
us.
don't I just show you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, show us that. There's the arm.
They're scooting around, scooting
Yeah.
around, scooting around.
Go
It's
ahead, let it play for a sec. Let's see
there
that.
we go.
Oh
There
my
we go.
gosh.
So this thing is up there, all like not just above the tree, but like twice
Oh
over
my gosh. It's
above the
like
tree, and
30
then
meters high.
and then
More than that.
hitting this perimeter just
Yeah.
on the line, right? Like this guy
So,
right here. And
yeah.
it's this dude right here that's got the
Remote
controller.
control.
So he's sitting here watching it,
Man, that is
controlling all
technical.
of this from right here, and and yeah, just making it run straight down the line, just tracing the whole line.
So, so what are they doing? Are they pouring a header or are they filling in all they can't be filling it in. That would take way too much cement.
No, they're not. They're filling in the entire top ring around this.
Just the top ring though.
Yeah,
So it's
just the
not
top.
going down into
No,
the
no, no,
like
no,
all
no. The blocks are
like
solid. Yeah,
okay. Oh,
there's rebar in all of this,
yeah.
and then right here you see this line is the
Uh-huh.
header. So
Yeah.
each door and window has a header that's made of this concrete
Solid concrete.
with reinforced steel inside of it. It's
Wow.
basically like a small bank,
Wow.
like a small community bank with I've seen banks that just I've seen banks that were like a modular home. You know,
Compared to this.
I mean, honestly, they'll come up and
So
cut
what kind of
with the
roof are you going to have?
Sawzall.
It's going to be a just a regular
No, it'll
with
like
one
they'll
gable or
this right here will be a gable that stretches back
oh,
this way. Yeah, and then we
yeah.
get back up into that.
That's so cool.
Um, and yeah, and then it'll kind of be a little bit of a lean-to that comes back towards us here.
So
Um,
no attic then?
no attic.
No. Okay.
Um,
But we can talk about the subterranean cellar that you had installed before you started building all this, kind of like Trump's ballroom. You kind of
yeah, and
yeah,
like I'm a little bit upset that that has to go away. Uh,
yeah.
and that I don't get like submerged panic room of some sort,
Yeah.
because like
You deserve a subterranean
everybody,
panic room.
yeah, everybody
Yeah.
deserves their own grave,
I have a guy back
their,
home, a guy back in the
their
States.
own tomb.
My prepper friend in the States, he built his own house like that, and he built a uh what do you call it? Not a prep room. What do they call it? A safe room, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, safe room
Yeah, he built a
or a
safe
panic
room,
room.
and he showed me like the regular cinder blocks, they're regular cinder blocks, and then this room, they're like triple cinder block all
Hmm.
sides, and then the steel door, and I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Arsenal, he's ready, to go.
I mean, that's kind of what's going to be happening here once this is done.
Yeah,
It's not going to be triple, But there's,
No,
it's like I said,
it
it's like
looks pretty
the
solid.
only, like it only started making sense to me last week when I started thinking about it as a small community bank. And I was
Yeah,
like, okay, because they're talking about, we're going to have metal lining,
yeah.
this stuff. I mean, it's crazy.
Maybe
Um,
get some lead lining just all around, just to be
well, that's what I
safe.
was
And
saying. So in the very minute before you see this start,
hmm
and this is not available to the public, by the way. This is exclusive to PK content. Um, like
coming at
100%.
you live. Yeah.
Unless you know somebody that knows somebody, and then if you get a hold of it, you let me know, and then we'll all know who that somebody was that gave it to you. But
Okay.
yeah, so what was where I
No, I
lost
was
my
gonna say
train
you
of
could
thought.
tell me a bit about
So
your
in the
Berlin trip.
in the last minute, I'm going to like I have this experiment that's not really done
hmm
here in Latvia that much, and these guys are like, oh well, this is not how we do it, and so like at each point, at each corner here where some of this comes together, I've got
hmm
a copper wire connected
Oh,
to the
grounding.
rebar, grounding it so that my grounding system includes all of this metal
So
that's
you
in this
installed that
ring around.
yourself. You did that yourself.
I jumped up there in the way, actually got
They,
in trouble on my own
I was gonna
property. I got
say,
myself in trouble and had to apologize
this is your
to these
house, this
guys
is your
and
project, but
said,
you
hey
don't
man,
mess
this will
with it.
never
You don't
happen
mess with the
again. I swear.
builders, man.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
just flew in this last night,
hmm
and I had to act
Oh,
in 1 minute.
Dallas.
I was in and out of their way before anything got started and before they were really ready to
Oh,
go.
Dallas, Dallas,
But
Dallas. All right,
oh my
tell me about
God.
Berlin because
Yeah,
we're running out of time. And I want to get
I
you
got
got a
up in the
minute on
mix.
Berlin, and then I want to get to the serious topics.
A minute of Berlin.
Yeah.
Dude,
Your first time to Berlin, right?
my first time to Berlin.
Yeah.
I'll mix some
Take the
photos.
video. Take the
Yeah,
video. Yeah. Switch your.
I'll mix some photos in
Yeah, sure.
as we're talking about it. Yeah, so first impression, just in one sort of thought, is that I've been to Prague, and Prague is like kind of considers itself Bohemia, like where like the birthplace of Bohemian culture, and like
hmm
and like really, and when I was there, you really got a sense and a feel for that, that like that was like where Bohemian culture came from.
hmm
But Berlin is like where Bohemian culture grew up and went to college and then became the mother wort kombucha that of counterculture that became the counterculture everywhere in all the rest of the world that we know of.
So
Anywhere where you
that's a
may
good
find
overview.
kombucha and graffiti is it like
This is the motherlode. This
this
is the
was the mother
center. This
wart.
is where it all started. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got just that's cool. You can show those pictures as you're talking about that, but I want to
Hmm.
get to the big question you sent me last night. So we had Pete Hegseth, political time. Pete Hegseth, who was on recorded as telling him kill those people, they blew up a ship and two guys are alive after they blow the ship up, and he gave the order to kill them. This
Hmm.
is not a rumor. This is not like conspiracy. This is just it's something you can see. And you said something like last night, like how do people get away with this? Like how do we let them keep getting away with this? Trump calls the reporter piggy. He called the reporter stupid, stupid. We see Wyckoff getting his orders directly from the Kremlin and
Wick.
using the Russian
Yeah,
Witkoff. Yeah,
Witkoff.
yeah.
I
And it's
told you
like,
that
and
dude was a weirdo. I don't know if you've seen him yet or not, but there's old foot like the first time that he was on the world stage, he was like just kind of in this like cult like trance like blissful glow of being in the presence of Putin. And it was the strangest thing I'd ever seen in politics. It was so dramatic and so much like a Netflix movie of some sort.
so
And not
how did
well
he
done.
get in a position uh it doesn't make any sense. I don't
Yeah, well, I
understand.
guess like when it comes to things like piggy and stupid and stuff like that, that's just kind of stupid, childish, like bully kind of
But what
behavior.
I want to point out is it's dehumanizing.
It
And what
is,
it
yeah.
does, and it's the same thing Stalin did, it's the same thing Hitler did, it's the same thing any dictator does to their enemies. They dehumanize them. The way he
Hmm.
talked about immigrants on Thanksgiving, like,
Hmm.
we don't want you here, get out of here, we're gonna, and the rounding up of immigrants and people of color and using
Well,
that as
and
a
it's like
pretense. It's this
it's a
whole
culture of
creation of the
permission.
otherism to
Yeah,
create this
and
they're
permission
not
structure.
human,
Yeah.
they're not worthy of respect, they're not worthy of any sort of thing. And it just builds and builds and builds to this point where then people just see them as not human. And
Yeah.
that's what terrifies me about that language. It terrifies me when he gets away with it and we just let it keep going, and whatever's next, because you see he says it, and then like a pack of dogs, all his followers, all these foaming at the mouth weird, the white power movement in the United States, they're like, oh, he could say it, we could say it. I think you sent me a video, the white community, the whites only community, what, North Carolina or something.
No, I think it's out in the Midwest somewhere. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
I thought it was in the South, but I don't. But
it
yeah,
might
so
be. Maybe Tennessee.
just
Might be
yeah,
Tennessee.
maybe
I'm not sure.
Tennessee. Do you call Tennessee Arkansas?
Arkansas, yeah. But I mean, like
Yeah,
the the west side of Tennessee, I would consider Midwest. Um,
really.
yeah, like Memphis and all that stuff. It opens up into the plains there.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
just call it the South. So yeah, so this is my fear is that the complacency, and I think you pointed out to the journalists how they just kind of treat it like normal, like it's just they don't even call it out anymore. It's just like, oh, this is the way it is
Well, that's
now.
what I was saying, where it's like those things are just kind of like what I was going to say is like that, and what you were getting at is it's a permission structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's little small little things that are
Mm-hmm.
happening within a much larger permission structure.
Right.
But then even within that permission structure, there's some kind of weird um, gaslighting that the media contributes to largely, where you're seeing something where because they're so reliant on ad revenue that they don't really care what they're producing over the years.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just like it's just dribble and like where they go on and on and
Well,
on,
it's
and they're
because we
asking
are in
these
a
questions, and they're asking questions like on the like genocidal questions, war crime question. Is this war crimes? Is this? This
yeah,
is that. It's like what? Like this is crazy. It's like It's like a post mortem on everything all the time.
yeah.
With no clear vision.
Consequence, or yeah,
No,
vision, or what could be
there's no,
better, what
yeah,
could be
no clear
different. It's just
strategy. And then
yeah.
even if that strategy is there, it is made clear, it's going to flip flop. If it's not in 2 weeks, it's going to flip flop in 2 years,
Well, yeah, I
you
just don't know
know?
what the timeline is on all this. That's the
And so
weirdest.
it's
Like,
like it's something where it breaks the fabric of society
exactly.
that's holding society together because there's no clear principles, there's no clear uh,
Morality, ethics, it all
well,
goes out
it's
the
like here in
window. And
Latvia, we're told a very clear message of do not surrender. The government is going to, you fight, the government's going to fight. You do not
yeah.
get taken. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that does not come through in America. What comes through in America is over here, we're going to go all over here with this foreign country. Over here, we're going to go all over here with this
And
foreign
we just get
country.
to make up.
This
Oh my
over here,
gosh,
we're going to
Dallas.
go
So
with this foreign country.
I want to clarify that difference, right? So you have Latvia, where we're at now, where we have an existential threat to our east that could destroy us and wipe us out. Anybody could destroy Latvia. I mean, we're such a small place. The United States has no natural predator. So
Hmm.
it has to go out and create predators in order to launch these attacks on people to create this power structure. And it's absolutely bizarre. We always talk about the enemy, the threat, but America has no threats.
Well, you do have
It's like the
blowback. There's a
biggest
lot of
bear in the
blowback.
forest. It's like
Correct.
the biggest
Uh-huh.
bear at the forest poking at that mouse, saying that mouse is going to take my food. No, you're the bear, dude. You don't need to go after Venezuela. You don't need to go
Well,
after
but you
all these
need it,
countries.
but
Anyway,
there
Dallas, we're
needs to
less
be
than a minute.
safety. You have
Dallas,
to have
Dallas,
safety.
Dallas, we're less than a minute.
Mhm.
Yes, we want safety, we want security, we want peace more than anything, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
peace and harmony to you and justice come your way. And
And
next week
if
we'll
you don't
have
give
two
me peace,
candles.
I'm gonna take a piece of that, piece of
Oh,
that.
it's a piece of